It's Tuesday, October 28th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, a marathon game after 18 innings. That ended just over 2 hours ago. The Dodgers came out on top to take a 2-1 lead in the World Series against the Jays. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And testing your home for radon. New Brunswick ran out of free radon testing kits on the first day they were offered. We're going to speak with the CEO of NB Lung to get the latest on the supplies and what you can do to protect yourself and your home from radon exposure. That's coming up.
Plus, cooking under pressure. We'll chat with a New Brunswick chef about his recent experience in the MasterChef Canada kitchen. All that and so much more just ahead on the Tuesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Come on in. Happy Tuesday to you. 6:01 on this Tuesday, October 28th. And yeah, the something I've really noticed is the light beginning to change. We're getting closer to December, around the 20th, when we have the shortest day of the year. I know it's 24 hours every day, but the least amount of light. And I thought, oh, we're getting closer and closer. It's getting pretty dark around 6 o'clock. And then after the time change on Saturday, we are into those days where it's dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Are you ready for that?
Absolutely.
There's something about when it's so dark so early that you feel like, oh, well, I can't go out and get stuff done, which is so different from the summer where it feels like you can keep going and going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like that sunlight really gives you energy.
It really gives you energy. So now we're into the time we're going to have to lean into it, ladies, because we can't stop it. We're going to be lighting the candles and that kind of thing.
Yep, doing all that we can.
But we're not quite there yet. We're looking at kind of these autumnal conditions, bit of rain here and there. It was raining when I walked in this morning.
Absolutely. Before we get to our forecast, I just want to mention that we will be covering Hurricane Melissa.
Right.
Currently tracking as a Category 5 hurricane. It is the strongest hurricane to hit Jamaica in over 170 years.
Oh,
I have family there, so I'm sending my prayers to them as well.
Oh my gosh.
We will have the latest track on that as it makes its way through Jamaica to Cuba, and we'll have the long range as what could impact us.
Thank you, Latavia.
Yes, but now we get to our weather.
Okay.
As you mentioned, a wet start to the day for much of the region. Here's a live look at Argyle Street over in Halifax. 9 degrees starting off your day, a bit cool for parts of Atlantic Canada yet again. We do have precipitation, so keep that in mind when you are heading out. You may want to allot some extra time on your morning commute, as we are going to see precipitation clearing into the afternoon. But as you can see here, a bit of a cool one this morning. -3 degrees heading outdoors in Edmonton, 6 early this morning in Fredericton, 10 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown with 9 in Sydney, -2 degrees over in Labrador City, 5 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar, you can see this low currently tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada, bringing wet weather to the Maritime region as well as parts of Newfoundland. We will be seeing clearing into the afternoon, leaving sunshine for parts of Atlantic Canada. As for the wind, another breezy day ahead out of the north and northeast this morning. 46 kilometers per hour in North Cape as well as into Canso, 33 in Charlottetown with 31 in Sydney, 30 in St. John, New Brunswick. Wind gusts getting up to 48 over in Charlottetown, 43 kilometers per hour in Sydney, 63 over in Canso, 46 in Greenwood. I'll have a look at your long range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. 6 hours and 39 minutes ended in heartbreak for the Toronto Blue Jays at Dodger Stadium.
High fly to center. Varsho back. Game over.
Game 3 in the World Series was won for the record books. The marathon game stretched into the 18th inning, tied for the longest in World Series history, matching the 18-inning game between the Dodgers and Red Sox. That was back in 2018. Now, Game 3 ended just before 4 a.m. Atlantic time. Jays hitter George Springer left the game after injuring himself with a swing during the 7th inning. With this morning's 6-5 win, the Dodgers now have a 2-1 series lead. Not much of a break for the team and fans. Game 4 is tonight, also in LA. Back here at home, RCMP in Nova Scotia say they're investigating hate-motivated graffiti at a social services agency in West Hants. Police did not say what the graffiti depicted, but noted that it was racist. RCMP say the racist graffiti was quickly painted over, and they believe it happened sometime between October 22nd and 24th. Police say anyone with information about the vandalism should come forward to police. The family of a teenage boy who was stabbed to death at a Halifax shopping mall last year described their loss to a youth court judge. The boy's mother and sister spoke during a sentencing hearing for a teenager who has pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of 16-year-old Ahmed Mayer Al-Marak. Speaking through an interpreter, the victim's mother said she felt like she also died the day her son was murdered. 3 other teens were also charged in the group attack. Former Nova Scotia Justice Minister and Lunenburg West MLA Becky Drouhan has resigned from the PC party. Drouhan, who has served as Education Minister and most recently as Attorney General and Justice Minister, announced she will sit as an independent. The move comes after she was dropped from cabinet during a shuffle last week. Drouhan was reportedly offered the Opportunities and Social Development portfolio, but a PC staff member told CTV News she declined. In a statement on her Facebook page, Drouhan says the move as an independent will allow her to focus more closely on her constituents. The Retail Council of Canada says shoplifting has evolved from a nuisance to a serious threat.
People are starting to understand that it's a very organized way of stealing. You can do resell through online marketplaces now, where you can sell, unlimited amounts of product.
This has been ongoing for, well, 42 years that I've been here, actually. Nobody's doing anything about retail crime at all.
The Retail Council of Canada is again sounding the alarm in an op-ed, saying retail crime is not just a business problem, it's a national crisis. This is our 911 call. The federal Liberals say harsher penalties are coming for organized retail theft, specifically new aggravating factors for sentencing. Northumberland Ferries has cancelled all crossings between PEI and Nova Scotia until 4:30 this afternoon. The company says sailing will resume with the 4:30 p.m. shuttle leaving Nova Scotia. Crossings were also cancelled yesterday because of a technical issue aboard the MV Northumberland and because of weather conditions. The ferry runs between Caribou, Nova Scotia and Wood Islands, PEI. In New Brunswick, a psychiatry unit dedicated to youth is being added to the St. John Regional Hospital. The province is spending millions to improve services for young people who are struggling. The 5-bed inpatient psychiatry unit will provide immediate specialized treatment, a first of its kind in the port city.
For a child to have reached that crisis point that they require admission to hospital for them to be managed and supported really indicates that their situation has come to the point that there is a lengthy, plan involved, both in stabilizing these children for whatever reason that brought them to hospital, but also ensuring that we have a supportive plan in place prior to their discharge.
Officials hope the center will ultimately help curb rising rates of crime, addiction, and homelessness in St. John and beyond. Finally, the service and sacrifice of Nova Scotians in the Great War more than a century ago were the focus of an event in Dartmouth last night.
And it certainly wasn't easy for those that I write about in this book. But it's to their memory that I dedicated my work.
Former soldier Ken Hines, well known around here for his long tenure as curator of the Army Museum, Halifax Citadel, has written a new book focused on the Nova Scotians who went above and beyond in the First World War. At the official book launch last night, Hines said it's important to acknowledge and remember all they gave.
They were just like you and me, regular folks who went overseas into the danger of an industrial scale conflict, and managed, some of them, to survive, and those that didn't laid down their lives for freedom.
The book, titled Service and Sacrifice, Nova Scotians in the Great War, is widely available in maritime bookstores and online. Looks like a successful book launch
Good
there
launch,
as well.
and
Absolutely.
great book to pick up to connect with the spirit of the poppy. We will be wearing our poppies on air starting November 1st, but lest we forget, it's such an important time of the year to remember those who have sacrificed it all for our peace and for those who serve.
Absolutely.
Okay, on a different note now, we're about to make one of our viewers' mornings a whole lot richer. Okay, for the past few weeks, we've been giving you the chance to enter to win our staggering $20,000 giveaway. Well, guess what? Today's the day we get to announce a lucky winner. So, congratulations to Al Priadel. You are the winner of CTV Your Morning's $20,000 giveaway. We congratulate Al, and thank you for tuning in and making CTV part of your morning ritual. We are so happy that we had this contest, and Al, I want you to be able to spend that money freely on whatever the heck you want.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Enjoyed it indeed. Congratulations, Al, and a big thank you to everyone who's been a part of our big launch. And if you took the time to enter in the code word every day or whenever you could, thank you so much for participating.
Absolutely.
That was fun. All right, still ahead. Lots more to come over the next 3 hours. A first look at your national and international news headlines on this Tuesday. And Latavia has more details on the full forecast. Looks like some leaves have fallen there in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. More on the wet weather right after this.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:13. We're taking a live look at a wet start to the day over in Moncton. We will be seeing rain clear out, leaving mainly cloudy skies a little bit later this morning. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. We are seeing a cooler start to the day for parts of the region yet again. As of right now, 6 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, with 10 starting off your day in Charlottetown, 9 degrees in both Halifax and Sydney, -2 over in Labrador City, 5 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Now, before we get to our forecast, we're taking a look at Hurricane Melissa. Now tracking as a Category 5 hurricane, it will make land impact later this morning to the west side of Jamaica. So it is known to be the strongest storm to hit Jamaica from the last 170 years. So over to our Category 4 hurricane into later tonight, into early Wednesday morning. It will make land impact through Cuba as a Category 4 on the eastern side of that country. And then it's going to take a northward turn. And what that means is going to remain east of the Maritimes. This is for our long range forecast. It won't be making land impacts. However, we are expecting a low pressure system and a weather front to make its way over to the Maritimes on Friday, which is Halloween. So we are expecting rain across the province, most of the Maritimes really. So if we take tropical moisture from this system, from our weather front, that could cause some heavy rain and downpours into the Maritime region. We will continue to track this as it makes its way over to our region later on Friday. Over to our forecast for today. It's a wet start to the day for much of the Maritime region yet again. We will be seeing precipitation clear out, leaving a bit of sunshine into the afternoon, a little bit cloudier for parts of the Maritimes as well as into Newfoundland. Still holding on to a bit of precipitation into parts of Newfoundland and Cape Breton into the afternoon. Really clearing out this system into the overnight hours tonight. Fog patches will develop yet again into the overnight hours. Temperatures really cooling down for parts of the region yet again. And taking us into Wednesday morning, we are expecting sunshine, but still seeing a chance of showers for parts of the region. If you're wondering about precipitation for the Maritimes, it's only seeing around 2 to 10 millimeters of additional precipitation, mostly situated into parts of Nova Scotia, and pretty light amounts expected for Newfoundland. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. We're looking at showers early in the morning. That will clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. Daytime highs will range from 9 to 12 degrees, and wind still remains on the breezy side out of the north, 20 gusting to 40. For Prince Edward Island, looking at highs between 10 to 11 degrees. Rain early in the morning, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud with wind gusts getting up to 50 kilometers per hour. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies. We're looking at rain starting off the day. Will clear into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies with highs between 9 to 12 degrees. For the rest of Nova Scotia, Rain starts off the day, so it is another wet start to the day. That will clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud with highs between 11 to 13 degrees. For Newfoundland and Labrador, sunshine today yet again, mainly sunny skies with a high of 9 degrees in Labrador City, 8 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at periods of drizzle starting off the day, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies. So into Wednesday's forecast, we will be seeing a bit more sunshine. We do have some precipitation that will track across parts of the region yet again. Clearing out into Thursday morning, we are going to see a cloudier day ahead, a little bit of sunshine here and there, and temperatures will warm up. That's a look at your weather forecast on this Tuesday. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 6:17. 5 days after U.S. President Donald Trump terminated trade negotiations with Canada, the Prime Minister answered questions about how talks could resume and if they should. CTV's Judy Trin is traveling with the Prime Minister in Kuala Lumpur and has the latest.
Official handshake. The Prime Minister began his day with a meeting with Malaysia's Anwar Ibrahim, the fourth leader from Southeast Asia that he has sat down with at ASEAN. But the one-on-one he needs is slipping out of reach.
Whether it's provincial or Canada itself, they all knew exactly what the end was. I don't want to meet with them. No, I'm not going to be meeting with them for a while.
Mark Carney revealed he has not spoken to Donald Trump since the U.S. president broke off trade talks on Thursday. Trump ended negotiations over an anti-tariff ad that the Ontario government commissioned, just as the federal team was close to getting tariff relief for steel and aluminum. The Prime Minister was asked if he was upset with Doug Ford.
You can get unexpected twists and turns, and you have to keep your cool. We had made progress, to repeat. And we stand by the progress that had been made.
Trump is also threatening to add 10% more tariffs on top of existing ones. When those take effect is uncertain. It's a stunning reversal from Carney's last White House visit just 3 weeks ago. How did your relationship with Donald Trump go south so fast?
It's a question for him.
Carney has considered the possibility the U.S. is toying with Canada and doesn't want to negotiate.
I'm not about to detail those contingency plans. I said this before I was elected, emphasize the importance of us giving ourselves far more than any foreign government could take away.
At the ASEAN summit, Carney said Canada would increase by 50% its non-U.S. exports over the next decade. That would amount to $300 billion. Trump may not want to sit down with Carney, but the president of China does. Xi Jinping and Carney will have a bilateral meeting in South Korea. The two leaders want to recalibrate the relationship between their two countries. Judy Trin, CTV News, Kuala Lumpur.
Canadians involved in the forestry sector are taking notice of what's happening on the West Coast. The Premier of British Columbia announced his province's plans to run an anti-tariff ad campaign next month. The online-only campaign will focus on the forest industry. Current tariffs and duties on Canadian softwood lumber now add up to 45% after Trump's latest threat of a 10% hike. The province also says it's opening up a forest trade office in the United Kingdom to boost exports to Europe. And we're getting a troubling new look at the impact of the cost of living crisis on Canadian food bank usage.
We're seeing people coming out of the woodwork just to make ends meet.
A staggering 2.2 million visits in March of this year alone. That's according to the latest report by Food Banks Canada. Overall, monthly visits to food banks have nearly doubled since 2019, with a third coming from children. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic, but when we return, we'll have your messy moment from our colleagues at TSN, plus your business headlines from BNN Bloomberg. We'll be right back after this. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
That little fact there makes me glad I got my snow tires put on yesterday.
Right? Oh my goodness, it's that time.
Those days are coming. All right, time now to check in with the friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hello there, Kara Wagland inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And before we take you to Pittsburgh for yet another milestone moment for Sidney Crosby. Third period, Crosby gets sent in on the breakaway. His initial shot is stopped, but he pounces on the rebound and scores. One of 3 points on the night for Crosby. He becomes just the 9th player in NHL history to reach 1,700 career points and also earns your must-see moment from Monday. And coming up Tuesday on TSN, MLS playoffs continue. We have Charlotte in action taking on New York City. Coverage for that one gets underway at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
And now over to your business headlines from our colleagues at BNN.
There is a report tonight that Amazon will be cutting 30,000 jobs and that it starts tomorrow. Reuters is reporting management jobs are being slashed, and the cut represents about 10% of Amazon's corporate staff. The last time Amazon cut this deep was in late 2022 and early 2023, when it shed 27,000 jobs. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up a fraction to 71.48. West Texas Intermediate crude is up to 61.58. Western Canadian Select is down 27 cents to 48.72. And the TSX lost 77 points today to end the day at 30,275. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast, wet weather starts off the day. Will clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon with a high of 11, cooling down to -2 tonight. On Wednesday, sunshine returns with a high of 12, and sunshine yet again for Thursday, warming up to 13. Nova Scotia starts off the day with wet weather as well. We will be seeing some sunny breaks, but for the most part, mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon with a high of 12 degrees. 11 degrees on Wednesday with lots of sunshine throughout the day. And on Thursday, much of the same, a mix of sun and cloud with evening showers. And then for Prince Edward Island, looking at a high of 11 today with rain starting off the day, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. 12 degrees on Wednesday with mainly sunny skies, and sunshine in our forecast for Thursday, a high of 14.
Just ahead in this half hour of the Move Morning Chat. Today, we're talking about frozen foods of all things, but not necessarily the ones you'll find in the frozen food aisle. We'll explain coming up on Your Morning Atlantic.
Or anyone with sensitive gums or teeth might be thinking like frozen foods.
You know what's so funny?
Thank you.
I was literally thinking of my frozen food, and then I was thinking, not today though, not anymore with my sensitive teeth.
Oh yeah.
So funny you said that.
When I think frozen foods, I think of, like bags of peas and other things.
Yeah.
French
Ice
fries, ice cream. Oh, ice cream. I love ice cream.
Yeah, me too.
Really love ice cream.
Yeah.
Lately, it's just been really thinking about how much I love ice cream.
Ooh, what's your guilty pleasure for the ice cream?
At the moment, a nice soft serve cone vanilla, which I know,
that's good.
It's delicious.
Classic.
It's a classic. But in general, pretty much, I'll take just about anything.
I love me some chocolate chip cookie dough.
Oh, well, yeah. You get into the scooped
I've
ice
been buying the Ben & Jerry's and just the chocolate chip cookie dough core. It's bad.
Nice. What about you? If I were to get, right now, show up with anything in a bag that was ice cream, what do you want?
Ooh, I'm always a sucker for mint chocolate chip, but I gotta tell you, I'm only into ice cream every now and again.
Really?
Same, but for some reason, lately, it's been top of mind.
Oh, yeah. I could eat a Haagen-Dazs almond bar.
Yeah.
Every night.
Oh,
every night.
Every night I could.
Every
but
meal.
they're so pricey, so, I dial it back.
Oh, the price of chocolate.
I'm glad we're talking about ice cream and frozen foods, because that kind of season is really trickling away. We're not going to have many chances. We'll be talking about frozen stuff outside.
Exactly.
Frozen trees.
Yes. Not the case for today, thankfully, but it is colder starting off your day, so keep that in mind when heading out. You can see over in our live eye at Lunenburg, it is a wet start to the day for many areas areas across Atlantic Canada, that will clear into the afternoon for most. As of right now, though, as I mentioned, layer up before heading outdoors. 6 degrees right now in Fredericton, 10 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown, with 9 in both Halifax and Sydney, -2 degrees over in Labrador City, 5 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar, you can see the current low pressure system tracking across parts of the region, bringing periods of rain and showers early this morning will clear, leaving a bit of sunshine into the afternoon. In terms of the wind for the Maritime region, will remain breezy today. As of right now, seeing sustained wind, 48 kilometers per hour in Canso and North Cape, 39 into Charlottetown with 33 in Moncton, 26 in Truro. Wind gusts getting up to 67 kilometers per hour in Canso, 43 in Sydney, 41 in Greenwood and St. John, New Brunswick. I'll have a look at your long-range forecast and the latest on Hurricane Melissa coming up. But first, a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. Jays fans around here not getting a lot of sleep. 6 hours and 39 minutes. That is how long the World Series Game 3 went, and it did not go Toronto's way. The Jays lost to the Dodgers in LA last night.
Center, Varsho back, game over.
This play just hours ago, Game 3 in the World Series, it was won for the record books. The marathon game stretched into the 18th inning. That's tied for the longest in World Series history, matching the 18-inning game between the Dodgers and the Red Sox back in 2018. Game 3 ended just before 4 a.m. Atlantic time. Also worth noting, Jays hitter George Springer left the game after injuring himself with a swing during the 7th inning. Now, with this morning's 6-5 win, the Dodgers, they now have 2-1 series lead. Not much of a break for both teams and fans. Game 4 still tonight in LA. Back here to news in the Maritimes. Northumberland Ferries has canceled all crossings between PEI and Nova Scotia until 4:30 this afternoon. The company says sailing will resume with the 4:30 p.m. shuttle leaving Nova Scotia. Crossings also canceled yesterday because of a technical issue aboard the MV Northumberland and because of weather conditions. The ferry runs between Caribou, Nova Scotia and Wood Island's PEI. The family of a teenage boy who was stabbed to death at a Halifax shopping mall last year described their loss to a youth court judge. The boy's mother and sister spoke during a sentencing hearing for a teenager who has pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of 16-year-old Ahmed Al-Marak. Speaking through an Arabic interpreter, the victim's mother said she felt like she also died the day her son was murdered. 3 other teens were also charged in the group attack. RCMP in Nova Scotia say they are investigating hate-motivated graffiti at a social services agency in West Hants. RCMP did not say what the graffiti depicted, but noted that it was racist. RCMP say the racist graffiti was quickly painted over, and they believed it happened sometime between October 22nd and the 24th. Police asking anyone with information to come forward. Former Nova Scotia Justice Minister and Lunenburg West MLA Becky Drouhan has resigned from the PC party. Drouhan, who has served as Education Minister and most recently as Attorney General and Justice Minister, announced she will sit as an independent. The move comes after she was dropped from cabinet during a shuffle last week. Drouhan was reportedly offered the Opportunities and Social Development portfolio, but a PC staff member told CTV News she declined. In a statement on her Facebook page, Drouhan says the move as an independent will allow her to focus more closely on her constituents. People living in a trailer park in PEI successfully fought to keep their spots a year ago. However, now they are being told once again that they'll have to find somewhere else to live.
The notice we got on Friday was the official eviction notice. When the letter came on the door and my kids were home and they saw it, and to watch my kids just like crumble was pretty rough.
We can't go in and buy all of these parks. We just simply couldn't afford it and put in all of the proper infrastructure. Again, the way I look at it is we're basically trying to figure out whatever we can do to help and to be there supporting residents.
57 homes, nearly 200 people in Evergreen Village are now facing another deadline to leave. Just over a year ago, the landlord gave residents the option to buy their lot for $40,000 or move out. The province announced they'd step in to help purchase the park. But in a statement to CTV News Monday, the province says the property owner did suggest a sale price, but argued against their request for an independent fair market evaluation of the property, saying an independent appraisal would not accurately reflect the true value of the land due to low revenues. CTV News did manage to reach the park's owner, but he declined to comment. Finally, we're getting a closer look at the biggest healthcare construction project Cape Breton has seen in a generation. 3 new buildings are going up next to the Cape Breton Regional Hospital. It includes a new clinical services building with a new ER, operating rooms, and 72 new beds. The plan to treat more patients locally rather than off the island.
The thoracic, surgeons, oncologists will actually come to Cape Breton and see our patients rather than our patients having to travel to Halifax in the future.
Proponents say the project is the single biggest health care build on the island since the Cape Breton Regional, which was built 30 years ago.
Well, that's such great news.
It's nice. I'm sure many Cape Bretoners have been driving by the build and saying, oh, yeah, it's coming along, it's coming along. And now we're getting a closer look at just how well it's coming along.
Yeah, that's great to see that. This not great, okay? Unless you're scrolling on your phone to decompress. Unfortunately, yes. And doom scrolling may actually be doing you more harm than good.
Doom scrolling is when you become so intensely focused on social media that it becomes problematic. You lose time, you lose a sense of clarity in terms of what am I actually reading here and how is it affecting me?
Experts say doom scrolling can fuel stress, anxiety, and even disrupt sleep. Scrolling can lead to unhealthy feelings of comparison or lack, leading to headaches and muscle tension. To avoid this, they suggest setting screen time limits with an alarm to signal when your screen time is up, and then replace maybe that activity with something healthier, like a walk.
Oh, being out in
Honestly,
nature.
we're electronic zombies these days, right? Even if you go to like a live event, all you see is phones now. We never really take a break to like soak in the actual moments anymore.
I don't know if I ever feel better when I go around checking social media. So I just think it's, I love the alarm thing. I do actually have that. I have my my social media set, and after 30 minutes it says your time is up, and I'm like, wow, that went fast.
Really quick.
Yeah. Only time I feel better is when I'm watching funny memes.
Well, that does
for like an hour.
For a little bit, but then you're like, wait, all this time has gone by. But yes, I do love to see like adopted pets like united with a new owner. That makes me cry, and I love it.
Yeah, that's true. And I love how the algorithm is like, oh, you like this? Here's some more.
You like that? Here's a bunch more. Absolutely.
And then I start getting pop-ups from these two. Like, hey, have you seen this one?
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, all right. Well, we're happy that you're watching this screen. Still ahead, we'll have your entertainment headlines. Latavia will have more on the wet weather and also the Move Morning Chat. We want you to use your little screen to text us. Today, we're asking, what are some foods that are just better frozen? And we're not talking about like stuff you find in the frozen food section. We're talking about things that aren't typically in the freezer. That's coming up.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:43. We're taking a live look at St. John's, Newfoundland. Early this morning, a dark start to the day. We are expecting periods of drizzle, but that will clear out, leaving mainly cloudy skies with current temperature of 5 degrees. It is a cooler start to the day yet again across the region as of right now. -3 degrees over in Edmonton, 6 in Bathurst, a bit warmer over in Charlottetown with 10 degrees, 9 in both Halifax and Sydney, -2 over in Labrador City, 1 in Gander. Over to the latest forecast track for Hurricane Melissa, currently tracking as a Category 5 hurricane. It is considered catastrophic. It will be traveling as a Category 5 through the west side of Jamaica, bringing heavy rain, storm surge, and flooding. And then into Tuesday night, we're looking at the second landfall to be made across the eastern region of Cuba. And then it's going to take a northward turn. And that means it's going to remain east of the Maritime region as a Category 1 hurricane. Now, we are not expecting land impacts. However, we do have a low pressure system and a weather front heading our way, bringing rain across much of the Maritime region on Halloween. So if this weather front takes some moisture from this tropical system, we could see some heavier rainfall as well as downpours. So we'll continue to monitor the situation as we get closer to Friday. Now over to our forecast timeline for today. We're looking at a bit of fog early this morning that will dissipate, as well as precipitation starting off the day for parts of Atlantic Canada. Looking at periods of rain and a chance of showers early in the morning, clearing for the most part into the afternoon, leaving some sunshine. Also going to see some mainly cloudy skies. And then into the evening and overnight hours, that precipitation completely clears out. We will be seeing fog return and into the overnight hours, bringing us really cool temperatures tonight as well, taking us into early Wednesday morning. We are expecting sunshine, but also going to see a bit of precipitation return as well. If you're wondering about precipitation totals from this system, we're looking at around 2 to 10 millimeters across parts of Nova Scotia. This is additional to what we received yesterday, and light amounts of precipitation expected for parts of Newfoundland. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Daytime highs between 9 to 12 degrees. We are going to see showers starting off the day, clearing, leaving mainly sunny skies into the afternoon. Wind picking up out of the north, 20 gusting to 40 kilometers per hour. And then daytime highs between 10 and 11 degrees for Prince Edward Island. Periods of rain start off the day, will clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. Wind gusts getting up to 50. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies. Rain starting off the day, but we will be seeing mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon. Wind gusts of 50 kilometers per hour as well, and highs between 9 to 12 degrees. For the rest of Nova Scotia, highs will range from 11 to 13 degrees, being the warmest into Shelburne. We are going to see periods of rain start off the day, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Sunshine over in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador today. A high of 9 degrees for Labrador City, mainly sunny skies throughout the day. A high of 8 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at periods of drizzle, clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies. Wednesday's forecast, another seasonal day for our daytime highs. We will be seeing some sunny breaks, but also for the most part, mainly cloudy skies. And then we have another low tracking across the region, bringing a chance of showers specifically into the southern region of Nova Scotia. Could see some spotty shower activity for parts of the region as well. And then into Thursday's forecast, a bit of sunshine, a cloudier start to the day for most, and pretty clear skies, but we will be seeing a bit of precipitation return for parts of Labrador. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat.
It's time for the Move Morning Chat with our friends Aaron and Peter in radio. And this morning, ooh, I feel a chill. We're talking about the foods that are better frozen. Where did this come from, guys?
Let me tell you how this started. And it's, as always, it's somehow by accident. So my wife started putting Nutella in the fridge, which it doesn't belong there, okay? It just doesn't belong there. It makes it very difficult to eat. But that was on purpose so that we weren't going through it so quickly. But as it turns out, that cold Nutella, that fudge-like Nutella, is so much better than the stuff that you just leave in the cupboard. And it became kind of a, you know, a bonding thing where we would be trying to get the Nutella out of the jar and then sharing whatever we got with each other. And to tell you the truth, it was just plain better frozen than it was left in the cupboard.
That's a good tip. We're all going to have to try that one. And it kind of got us talking about other things that probably shouldn't be kept in the fridge or the freezer, but so much better. For me personally, I love any sort of sweets, but specifically cookies. If there are cookies in the house, automatically I throw them in the freezer. I like the texture better. They're cold. If there's chocolate in them, they're delicious. Mentioned this on the show this morning, and we got so many texts coming in talking about Girl Guide cookies, specifically the mint chocolate ones. So many people keep those in the freezer and say they are so much better frozen. So give it a try.
I've never had them frozen. I keep them in the freezer, though, because it's great. Like, we have a lot of Cape Breton relatives, and sometimes they'll just show up. So you can just put the kettle on and grab the frozen Girl Guide cookies, and it's like instant company food. For me, it's slices of orange. I had them at the spa one time, and they're really good frozen, like so much better than just on their own. And they're good on their own.
Wow, you guys are inspiring me this morning. There's not one treat in particular that I enjoy frozen, but I will say this is a parenting hack I have for my son. He would often get these special meals, you know, the kids' meals you can get at fast food restaurants. Yeah. Oftentimes they'll come with like a tube of yogurt. Usually he doesn't want to eat it at the time. But what I always do is I throw those tubes of yogurt in the freezer so it's not wasted, and he will want to eat them frozen.
Yeah.
That's what he likes as a snack. It's a great way to avoid the waste. And yeah, everyone wins. So that is a favorite of his.
Yeah, froyo. Okay, well, I'll tell you what's not good. Frozen lettuce. Yeah, it's no good anymore. Ixnay on the lettuce.
I've been trying that.
Anyway, yeah. Okay, let's find out from you. What do you think is better, frozen lettuce? Now, what foods are surprisingly delicious when they're put in the freezer? Text us at 10400. We'll have a beautiful roundup at the end of our show.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back, 6:53. We're talking about frozen foods in the Move Morning Chat today. Your turn to weigh in, Latavia.
I remember growing up, one of my girlfriends, she liked eating corn frozen.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. It tasted really good. And another thing we used to do is eating frozen watermelon.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I wasn't a big water drinker growing up, and my dad had cut them up and froze them and put them in water, and then I just started eating them from a bowl.
And even just putting watermelon cut up in the fridge.
Yes.
Is really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
Our fridge in Cape Breton is a little bit broken, so it kind of sometimes half freezes things when you don't want it to, but the watermelon, I'm always happy when it's like got little crystals in it. It's delish.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because my fridge just always usually freezes things. We keep it too cold.
Yeah.
So most of my food, sometimes if I'm eating it straight from the fridge and it's already cold, meant to be cold, it's just slightly frozen.
Then you know I paid with the frozen lettuce. Like, you're like, ah.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Time now to head to Hollywood for a look at your entertainment headlines.
For the first time in 3 years, pop star Demi Lovato is going on tour to celebrate her new album, It's Not That Deep. The tour kicks off this coming April in Charlotte, North Carolina, and hits several cities including New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. Speaking of performers, the eldest Jonas brother, Kevin Jonas, has announced his first single without his brothers, Nick and Joe. It's called Changing and is set to come out November 20th. Kevin Jonas made the announcement during a recent show on their Jonas 20 tour.
Me an actor?
No, I'm a stuntman.
We're getting closer to the release of The Adventures of Cliff Booth. Variety reports the movie, a sequel to 2019's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is targeted for a summer 2026 release. It stars Brad Pitt as the title stuntman and is directed by David Fincher. And one of the biggest movie stars in the world, Julia Roberts, is celebrating a birthday. The Oscar-winning actress and Pretty Woman star is 58 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa O'Don, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Happy birthday, Julia Roberts. Happening now, a long game at the World Series after playing for over 6 hours and into the 18th inning. The LA Dodgers took Game 3 over the Jays, claiming a 2-1 series lead. That game just ended before 4 a.m. local time. We'll have highlights just ahead. Plus, interesting news for travel. Northumberland Ferries has canceled all crossings between PEI and Nova Scotia until 4:30 this afternoon. Plus, marine education. We get a sneak peek at a new marine center designed to entertain and educate visitors all about our waters. Those details coming up next in your local news headlines. But first, it's a look at the 3-day forecast with Latavia as we head towards the end of October.
Can't believe it, Amanda. All right, we're starting off wet weather today for New Brunswick. That will clear out, leaving sunshine into the afternoon with a high of 11 degrees. 12 degrees on Wednesday, sunny skies across the province. And same thing for Thursday, warming up to 13. For Nova Scotia, starting off the day with periods of rain, will clear, leaving mainly cloudy skies for the most part. A high of 12 degrees. 11 on Wednesday with lots of sunshine across the province. And then on Thursday, looking at a mix of sun and cloud. Evening showers expected for the southern region with a high of 14. Prince Edward Island seeing a high of 11. Looking at periods of rain with a mix of sun and cloud expected into the afternoon. 12 degrees on Wednesday with sunshine across the island. And same thing for Thursday, warming up to 14 degrees.
Tuesday, October 28th. Today in Your Morning Atlantic, a marathon game after 18 innings. That ended just before 4 a.m. The LA Dodgers came out on top to take a 2-1 lead in the World Series against the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll have highlights in your other news headlines just ahead.
And protecting yourself in your home against radon. Free testing kits at New Brunswick Libraries ran out of stock in one day. We'll speak with the president of NB Long on where supplies stand now and preventative measures you can take now. That's coming up in the 7 o'clock hour of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 7:01 on your Tuesday morning, the last Tuesday of October.
Oh my goodness!
Can you imagine that? Every time you ladies say it, I'm like, oh!
Time changed for this whole year. It's been a blur. My goodness.
I know. We have the time change this weekend too.
Sunday, yep.
Fall back, and then Halloween on Friday, and then the start of November.
Yes.
This weekend.
What a wild time. My goodness gracious.
Absolutely. I find a lot of people keeping an eye on the forecast because of Halloween on Friday.
Yes.
It's expected to be a wet day ahead. And we do have some precipitation that could possibly be taken from Hurricane Melissa. I'll have that breakdown coming up a little bit later. No land impacts from Hurricane Melissa.
Far off the coast for us.
Exactly.
We could see some moisture.
It remains far east from us. Yes, exactly. We could grab some moisture from that system with the current system that's headed our way.
Well, if there's anything I know from your forecast, Tavia, it's like the closer we get to the actual day, the more accurate the forecast will be.
Exactly.
So we'll make it a game time plan on
Fingers
Halloween.
crossed, yeah, that's all gonna go away and we're just gonna see sunshine.
That would be nice.
Oh,
Skies at night.
And before you take a deep dive into the weather, speaking of game time, I want to know this from our viewers. We're asking about the frozen foods. You can please send us a text at 10400. I also want to know if you stayed up to watch the game 3 of the World Series, right? This went on for nearly 7 hours. Started at 9 o'clock last night.
When I rounded the corner and saw my husband still with the TV on, he was sweating. I'm like, what is going on, honey?
And what time was that?
Yeah, this was 3:30.
3:30? Yeah. I know.
And he said, no, the game's still on. I'm like, what? But this is why we love sports, because anything can happen.
Oh, the stress, up and down, up and down. Amanda and I got here at the studio at 3:30 in the morning. We saw the game was still on. We're like this.
Oh, no,
my gosh, what's going to happen?
And then when I walked in, they had just lost. Anyway, we better get to weather.
Oh, boo. Okay, let's talk about the forecast. It is a wet start to the day for parts of the region. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out. You may want to allot some extra time out on your morning commute. Another dark start to the day over in McAdam. It is cool as well, so you may want to layer up before heading outdoors. We're seeing cooler temperatures early this morning across the region. Temperatures for the most part will remain seasonal for our daytime highs. But as of right now, 6 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, a bit warmer starting off your day in Charlottetown with 10 degrees, 9 in both Halifax and Sydney, cooler in Labrador City at -2, 1 in Gander with 3 degrees over in Corner Brook, and 5 into St. John's. Over to our satellite and radar, you can see this low pressure system currently tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada, bringing periods of rain and or chance of showers early this morning. That will clear into the afternoon for the most part, seeing sunshine or mainly cloudy skies. For our wind, for all 3 maritime provinces, will remain breezy today out of the north and northeast. As of right now, 48 kilometers per hour in Canso and North Cape, 39 into Charlottetown with 33 in Moncton, 26 in Truro. Wind gusts getting up to 67 kilometers per hour in Canso, 50 into Charlottetown, 43 kilometers per hour in Sydney, 41 in Greenwood, as well as St. John, New Brunswick. I'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first, a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. 6 hours and 39 minutes. That is how long Game 3 of the World Series lasted for overnight.
High fly to center. Varsho back. Game over.
That's where it ended. The marathon game stretched into the 18th inning, tied for the longest in World Series history, matching the 18-inning game between the Dodgers and Red Sox back in 2018. The Game 3 ended just before 4 a.m. Atlantic time, not the score that Jays fans wanted. And Jays hitter George Springer left the game after injuring himself with a swing during the 7th inning. Now, with this morning's 6-5 win, the Dodgers, they now have a 2-1 series lead, and there isn't much of a break for the teams or for fans because Game 4 is still tonight. in LA. Traffic note for you this morning. Northumberland Ferries has canceled all crossings between PEI and Nova Scotia until 4:30 this afternoon. The company says sailing will resume with the 4:30 p.m. shuttle leaving Nova Scotia. Crossings were also canceled yesterday because of a technical issue aboard the MV Northumberland and because of weather conditions. The ferry does run between Caribou, Nova Scotia and Wood Island's PEI. A psychiatry unit dedicated to youth is being added to the St. John Regional Hospital. Millions to improve services for young people who are struggling. The 5-bed inpatient psychiatry unit will provide immediate, specialized treatment, a first of its kind in St. John.
For a child to have reached that crisis point that they require admission to hospital for them to be managed and supported really indicates that their situation has come to the point that there is a lengthy, plan involved, both in stabilizing these children for whatever reason that brought them to hospital, but also ensuring that we have a supportive plan in place prior to their discharge.
Officials hope the center will ultimately help curb rising rates of crime, addiction, and homelessness in the port city and beyond. For years, an aquarium has been identified as something Haligonians want for the city. Now we're getting a look inside a new marine discovery center set to open in the coming months. CTV's Emma Convey shows us more.
So here we see the blue whale swimming into a school of krill. That's main food. And here it does what we call lunge feeding.
This is a blue whale eating and digesting krill. It's shown through augmented reality when the lens focuses on this 18-meter blue whale skeleton. This is part of the new BT Center for Marine Biodiversity at Dalhousie University.
We take people literally on a journey from the tide pool, from the shoreline, all the way to the deep sea. And you see the different habitats and the species that live there sort of sequentially. And you're diving down and experiencing it for yourself.
30 exhibits and tanks with dozens of live species from waters around Nova Scotia. Their mission is to build ocean literacy.
Unique here is that we're also interfacing with the research done here at Dal. We have students and others interacting with visitors, telling them about their research. We're learning about some of the conservation solutions we're building here at Dalhousie to protect our biodiversity and to actively restore it.
This project has been in the works for decades. Now made possible by an $8.2 million donation from Ross Beatty. He's from Vancouver and previously invested in the Beatty Biodiversity Museum at UBC. Given its success, he saw value in one on the East Coast.
Profiling, something that is important to the East Coast and also a very, very strong research center in Dalhousie, which is marine science. And so a Marine Biodiversity Research Center here just made a lot of sense to me.
Opening doors for students, both for employment and research.
But we also have a lot of opportunities for new programming, say training people how to take care of animals, for example, interacting with the community, opportunities for science communication, and I think also tons and tons of opportunities for new kinds of research.
Operated by the Discovery Center, it will give visitors the chance to see regional species live. Lobsters, mackerel, eels, and deep-sea animals like an octopus.
An important area to inspire youth to study and become scientists and innovators themselves. So we see this enabled by our partnership with Dow, getting more kids involved in ocean science, even more so.
Emma Convey, CTV News.
That is so cool. Thank you, Emma, for that report. Can't wait.
Yeah, we'll be open to the public soon. Okay, very exciting. Let's talk about something else exciting. Guess what? We're about to announce the winner. A whole lot richer. As you know, for the past few weeks, we've been giving away a staggering $20,000. Well, it's time now to announce the lucky winner. Congratulations to Al Priadel. You are the winner of CTV Your Morning's $20,000 giveaway. Congratulations to Al. Thank you all for tuning in. Woo! Yes!
Yeah.
And thank you to everybody who participated in this contest. We loved playing along with you, having those code words every day, and hopefully Al will let us know how he plans to spend that 20 grand.
Right? Oh my gosh, I know, because we've been dreaming, even though we couldn't play. We've been dreaming, we know you have.
Like when people go on vacation and they send me pictures of them on vacation, I just feel like I'm living along with them.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, it is so true. All right, well, still ahead on the show, lots more to come. Latavia has the next look at the forecast, and I'll also have your national news headlines It is dark, but still beautiful. You can see the light shining at Peggy's Cove Lighthouse. We'll be right back after this break, 7:10.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 7:13. Taking a live look at the McKay Bridge. Starting off at 9 degrees this morning. It is a wet start to the day. You may want to allot some extra time out on your morning commute, and another cool start to the day as well. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca, and currently it is 9 degrees over in Charlottetown and Sydney, 6 starting off your day in Fredericton, -2 over in Labrador City, and 5 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Now, before we get to our forecast here in Atlantic Canada, we're going to take a look at the latest track of Hurricane Melissa. It is tracking as a Category 5 hurricane, considered to be catastrophic. This is expected to be the strongest hurricane to make land impact in Jamaica in over 170 years. So it's going to make land impact the west portion of Jamaica as a Category 5. So heavy rain, storm surge, flooding is expected. And then Tuesday night, that's when we're going to start seeing it make its way to Cuba. It's going to hit the eastern region of Cuba, also bringing that heavy rain and storm surge. And then for the maritime region, our long-term forecast, where it's going to take a north turn into eastern region of our ocean. So off of the east of the maritime region, so not making land impacts for us. However, we do have a low pressure system and a weather front making its way over for Friday on Halloween. We are expecting precipitation across the maritime region. Because of that, if that front connects and pulls moisture from Hurricane Melissa, we could see tropical moisture, which could make for heavy rain and downpours in our region. Now, this is the long-range forecast, so we are still monitoring this and only seeing precipitation, not land impacts from this system. All right, over to our forecast timeline. Fog starting off the day and a cloudier start to the day for much of the region, seeing sunshine across Labrador early this morning. And then we do have precipitation tracking across the region today, a chance of showers, periods of rain for parts of the Maritimes, as well as extending into parts of Newfoundland. Into the afternoon, we will be seeing that precipitation clearing out, leaving either sunshine or mainly cloudy skies. And that takes us into the evening and overnight hours. We will be seeing fog patches develop into the overnight hours. Temperatures cooling down yet again, feeling quite cold for parts of the region. Taking us into early Wednesday morning, we will be seeing sunshine return, but also a bit of precipitation returning as well. If you're wondering about the precipitation across the region, look at around 2 to 10 millimeters for additional rainfall for parts of Nova Scotia. Not seeing much for totals into Newfoundland and Labrador. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, showers starts off the day, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies, with highs ranging from 9 to 12 degrees and breezy wind expected as well. For Prince Edward Island, highs between 9 to 11 degrees. Periods of rain start off the day, will clear, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Now for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, we will be seeing a rain start off the day, transition over to mainly cloudy skies with highs between 9 to 12 degrees. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, same thing applies. We're looking at periods of rain early in the morning, clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud with highs between 11 to 14 degrees. For Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing lots of sunshine throughout your day, mainly sunny skies with a high of 8 in Labrador City. 8 degrees also for your daytime high in St. John's. Periods of drizzle start off the day, will clear, leaving mainly cloudy skies. Wednesday's forecast, temperatures remain seasonal for the most part for our daytime highs. A bit of sunshine, but for the most part seeing a cloud coverage, and we do have precipitation returning to the southern region of Nova Scotia. Other than that, into Thursday morning, temperatures will rise about 1 to 2 degrees, and we will be seeing a cloudier day ahead with a chance of some isolated showers returning for parts of Atlantic Canada. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. Canadians involved in the forestry sector are taking notice of what's happening on the West Coast. The Premier of British Columbia announced his province's plans to run an anti-tariff ad campaign next month. The online-only campaign will focus on the forest industry. Current tariffs and duties on Canadian softwood lumber now add up to 45% after Trump's latest threat of a 10% hike. The province also says it's opening up a forest trade office in the United Kingdom to boost exports to Europe. The U.S. ambassador to Canada says he doesn't expect any kind of trade deal between the two countries to be a priority before the new year. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more on that.
I don't know how we get this back on track. That comment after Ambassador Pete Hoekstra had a conversation with Donald Trump on Saturday, the same day the U.S. president threatened an additional 10% tariff on Canadian products.
He didn't give me any, clear indication or any indication at all that he was in any hurry to get back to the negotiating table and get an agreement.
While criticizing how Canadian media framed the recent breakdown of trade talks, the ambassador said Ontario's anti-tariff ad and comments by other premiers was akin to meddling in American affairs.
Doug Ford and Eby were starting to play in domestic American politics, potentially affecting a Supreme Court decision, potentially affecting politics, an election that is 8 days out, and for sure having an impact in the midterm elections.
Hoekstra admits American businesses are grappling with the uncertainty caused by the strained trading relationship between Canada and the U.S. But after the contentious commercial, the U.S. is taking no blame for the current state of the relationship.
Canada burnt the bridges with America. Donald Trump did not slam the door. Canada slammed that door shut all by itself.
The ambassador did say last week the U.S. had been confident sectoral deals could have been hammered out by American Thanksgiving. But now Hoekstra says he doesn't know what it will take to get people back to the table in a constructive and positive mood.
CTV's Mike Lukatour reporting in Ottawa. Quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll be talking about the availability of free radon test kits in New Brunswick. That's after this break.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. It's 7:23. 1 in 4 homes in New Brunswick has unsafe levels of radon, an invisible, odorless gas that exists naturally in the soil and seeps into homes through cracks in foundations, gas pipe fittings, or in exposed earth. Now, radon exposure is also the leading cause of lung cancer among non-smokers. And earlier this month, free radon test kits were being offered at provincial libraries. But due to high demand, the stock of 2,000 kits was gone within a day. Here to discuss this is the president and CEO of NB Lung, Melanie Langell. Good morning, Melanie.
Good morning.
So good to have this conversation. I know the radon exposure is a serious issue. First of all, though, what is the latest on radon kit availability?
Well, as you mentioned, the kits were incredibly popular during that first day that they were available in the libraries, and they ran out very quickly. So the Provincial Library Service has informed me that they are monitoring the inventory at all their libraries on a daily basis and replenishing as needed. They do have a lot more on hand. So we are encouraged to give your library a call. If you don't go to the library very often, you're making a special trip, give them a call before you head out. Make sure that they have some for you today, because if they're out, it might be a couple of days before they're able to get restocked.
We're seeing various types of radon kits on our screen now. How do these kits work?
You've got quite a variety there. So
just the average one.
So what's available in the New Brunswick public libraries is this guy right here. This is called an alpha track detector. What this does is inside this little plastic housing, there is a more flexible plastic film. And what radon does, now radon is radioactive, and that means unstable. So it actually is very energetic molecule, and it's decaying, and it's kicking off these microscopic particles that actually make dents in this plastic. So you can imagine what that does on the inside of your lungs. And it's also, those particles they're kicking out are radioactive particles of polonium and lead, and that they continue to emit some small radiation inside you. But these tests, so we just put them somewhere. It's super simple to do this test. It's just a matter of placing this detector somewhere on the lowest level of your home that you spend time in. Not your basement, that's storage only, but if you have a TV room or something, or bedroom down there, that's where we put it. You just put it on a shelf, or maybe even tack it on the wall or hang it from the ceiling, and leave it for at least 90 days. Health Canada recommends at least 90 days to have a very robust set of data so that you can understand whether or not you need to make repairs to your home or not. So after the 90 days, the laboratory will take this little device, they pull out that small film inside, put it under a microscope, and they can actually see all those little dents in the plastic. And based on how long that test was exposed to the radiation, they can determine what the concentration is in the home. What we have, another option is these electronic devices. So sorry, I got a blur here, but this looks like basically a calculator. And this gives me a reading. It takes about 7 days before it will give me an average, because radon levels go up and down quite a bit, day to day, month to month, house to house, based on so many factors. But these direct read instruments are handy. We've used them in the past in New Brunswick. We've used these in the libraries, and currently in Nova Scotia, there's a program in the Halifax Library where you can check out one of these guys. And we've used it really as an awareness raising device. So you can have that in your home. If you have it any more than 7 days, it's going to start giving you the average of what that concentration is. But really the gold standard for determining whether or not your home needs repairs is at least a 90-day test.
Well, Melanie, we appreciate your time this morning. I know that you deal with a lot of, issues regarding the fact that radon exposure causes damage to people's lungs, and we'll have to have another conversation to talk about next steps and what else people can do. But thank you so much for your time this morning, and good luck at the conference. I know you're at a conference talking about health today.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, that was Melanie Langell, the CEO and president of the NB Lung Foundation. Your Morning Atlantic will be right back after this break. Coming up in this half hour, would it really be Halloween if we didn't visit a haunted house? This time we sent a camera by himself so we didn't have to get a fright. What happened will all be revealed just ahead on Your Morning Atlantic. On in, 7:31 on this Tuesday, October 28th. Still a chance. If you wanted to go check out a haunted house, I did get an early sneak peek at that Alderney Landing haunted house. It's really, really well done.
Oh, yeah.
And all the volunteers there, their makeup and costumes are so
incredible.
Good. And all of the proceeds from that event help support the programming that Alderney Landing does. And if you ever go to any of their programming, they really, they put a lot into it. Like, you get a lot of value for your free. Like, it's amazing.
That's incredible. Awesome. Want to return to the Move Morning chat. So you were talking about value. We've had a few texts about frozen food. People saying that they love to freeze fresh food just because it's expensive. Oh, yeah. Want to make it last longer. So thank you to our viewers who did that. But if you are just tuning in, we are asking this morning, what foods are surprisingly better frozen? And we're not just talking about the foods that you find in the frozen food aisle at your grocery store. We're talking about foods that you don't buy from the frozen food aisle.
But you like to freeze it.
But you like to freeze it. Yes. And you enjoy it that way. So 10400 is the number that you can send us a text on. And thank you to the viewers who sent us a text already.
Amazing, yeah. Okay, so weather-wise today, what are we dealing with?
Starting with some wet weather for parts of Canada early this morning. Just something to keep in mind when you are heading out. Here's a live look at Bedeque. A bit of a cloudy start to the day. We're starting to see that it's not as dark out there early this morning. We are going to see sunshine in our forecast for parts of the region a little bit later, but just keep in mind it is a cool start to the day and a wet one at that. 6 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, 9 in Charlottetown, as well as into Halifax and Sydney, -2 degrees over in Labrador City, 3 into Happy Valley Goose Bay, 0 in Gander, and 5 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar, a bit of fog early this morning and cloud coverage. We are seeing some wet weather tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada, expecting much of that to clear into the afternoon, leaving either sunshine or mainly cloudy skies. Breezy winds for the Maritime region today out of the north and northeast, 46 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 44 into Canso with 30 in Sydney and Truro. Wind gusts getting up to 67 kilometers per hour in Canso, 50 into Charlottetown with 35 in Halifax, as well as into Lunenburg. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast and the latest on Hurricane Melissa. But first, we'll take a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. 2 full games of baseball were played in Game 3 of the World Series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the LA Dodgers in California overnight.
High fly to center. Varsho back. Game over.
The game went on for 18 innings before Dodger Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off homer to end the game. After the almost 7-hour game, Blue Jays manager John Schneider had high praise for all the players. Schneider says George Springer's status for Game 4 of the World Series tonight, it is uncertain after the Jays' designated hitter left Game 3 with a right side injury. Northumberland Ferries has canceled all crossings between PEI and Nova Scotia until 4:30 this afternoon. The company says sailing will resume with the 4:30 shuttle leaving Nova Scotia. Crossings were also canceled yesterday because of a technical issue aboard the MV Northumberland and because of weather conditions. The ferry, of course, runs between Caribou, Nova Scotia and Wood Islands, PEI. The family of a teenage boy who was stabbed to death at a Halifax shopping mall last year described their loss to a youth court judge. The boy's mother and sister spoke during a sentencing hearing for a teen who has pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in the death of 16-year-old Ahmed Al-Marak. Speaking through an Arabic interpreter, the victim's mother said she felt like she also died the day her son was murdered. 3 other teens were also charged in the group attack. RCMP in Nova Scotia say they're investigating hate-motivated graffiti at a social services agency in West Hants. Police did not say what the graffiti depicted, but noted that it was racist. RCMP say the racist graffiti was quickly painted over, and they believe it happened sometime between October 22nd and the 24th. Police say anyone with information about the vandalism should come forward to police. The Retail Council of Canada says shoplifting has evolved from a nuisance to a serious threat.
People are starting to understand that it's a very organized way of stealing. You can do resell through online marketplaces now, where you can sell, unlimited amounts of product.
This has been ongoing for, well, 42 years that I've been here, actually. Nobody's doing anything about retail crime at all.
The Retail Council of Canada is again sounding the alarm in an op-ed, saying retail crime is not just a business problem, it's a national crisis, with the quote, "This is our 911 call." The federal Liberals say harsher penalties are coming for organized retail theft, specifically new aggravating factors for sentencing. Former Nova Scotia Justice Minister and Lunenburg West MLA Becky Drouhan has resigned from the PC party. Drouhan, who has served as Education Minister and most recently as Attorney General and Justice Minister, announced she will sit as an independent. The move comes after she was dropped from cabinet during a shuffle last week. Drouhan was reportedly offered the Opportunities and Social Development portfolio, but a PC staff member told CTV News she declined. In a statement on her Facebook page, Drouhan says the move as an independent will allow her to focus more closely on her constituents. In New Brunswick, a psychiatry unit dedicated to youth is being added to the St. John Regional Hospital. The province is spending millions to improve services for young people who are struggling. The 5-bed inpatient psychiatry unit will provide immediate, specialized treatment, a first of its kind in St. John.
For a child to have reached that crisis point that they require admission to hospital for them to be managed and supported really indicates that their situation has come to the point that there is a lengthy, plan involved, both in stabilizing these children for whatever reason that brought them to hospital, but also ensuring that we have a supportive plan in place prior to their discharge.
Officials hope the center will ultimately help curb rising rates of crime, addiction, and homelessness in the Port City and beyond. Finally, you could certainly call this a party on wheels. You're looking at a British DJ spinning music, and we mean spinning, through the streets of Madrid. Dom Whitting created drum and bass on bike rides during the pandemic in an effort to get people out exercising and enjoying music. So 4 years in, the rides now drawn hundreds and sometimes thousands to the city he visits.
It's fun.
Is that Skrillex?
It is. That's fun. It is. I've seen this where someone wears a backpack and you run with the
Yes.
music playing, and I would love to do that.
Yeah, I've thought about how fun would that be,
It
too.
would be so fun, I know.
Yeah, every time I'm running, I have to listen to like pump up music.
Oh, yeah.
To get me that extra kilometer.
Definitely.
That extra push, not a calm audiobook. No.
Certainly not. All right, this is great news. A Halifax fine dining establishment has been named Best New Restaurant in North America.
It's pretty good.
Mystic received the honor from the World Culinary Awards. It's an incredible recognition for Chef Malcolm Campbell and the entire team at Mystic. Chef Malcolm Campbell's been in our show. The restaurant is located in Queen's Mark on the Halifax waterfront. Mystic has recently been named one of Canada's 100 Best and has won the Wine Spectators Award of Excellence and Vine Roots Award of Distinction. So congrats to Mystic.
Yay, that's incredible.
Yay.
That sounds great. Hungry. Have to book a reservation there.
Indeed.
All right, another break on this Tuesday. Please stay with us. We have so much coming up in this half hour. Latavia has more details on the forecast. So much to take in, especially when it comes to Hurricane Melissa. And also, too, we're going to visit the Blue Nose Ghost Festival. If you dare, Dartmouth's Alderman Landing is the place to be if you want a good fright. Stay with us. We'll show you more right after this.
Eight degrees starting off your day with wet weather over in Moncton. Welcome back, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 7:44. A bit of a cool start to the day, and you will want to allot some extra time out on your morning commute as roads are wet. And we are seeing precipitation for parts of Atlantic Canada starting off early this morning. We will be seeing that clear out a little bit later on. And another cool start to the day, 0 over in Edmonton with 6 in Fredericton, also into St. John, New Brunswick. 9 degrees starting off your day in Halifax, as well as into Sydney and Charlottetown. -2 degrees over in Labrador City and 5 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Taking a look now on our latest on Hurricane Melissa. Currently tracking as a Category 5 hurricane. It is considered to be catastrophic, Category 5 hurricane. So it will make land impact west side of Jamaica as a Category 5. So heavy rain, storm surges, flooding is expected. And then into Tuesday night, it will make its way through eastern Cuba. Also going to see some heavy rain and storm surges as well. As for the Maritimes, we're going to look into the long-range forecast now. Melissa will take a northward turn, remaining east of the Maritimes, but it does look like it will pass east of us at the same time that a low-pressure system and a weather front makes its way over to the Maritimes, bringing rain on Friday, which is Halloween. So if that front takes precipitation out of Melissa, we could see some heavy rainfall as well as some downpours. Now, this is our long-range forecast. We'll continue to monitor it as it makes its way over, but not making any land impact, just additional moisture expected. Now over to our forecast timeline. Fog starting off the day will dissipate a little bit later this morning, and a cloudier start to the day for much of Atlantic Canada, seeing sunshine early this morning across Labrador. We do also have precipitation tracking across parts of the region, bringing a chance of showers and periods of rain. Clearing for the most part into this afternoon, leaving sunshine or mainly cloudy skies. And then into the evening and overnight hours, we will be seeing a few clouds return, fog patches developing into the overnight hours, temperatures cooling down, taking us into early Wednesday morning. We will be seeing sunshine return in our forecast, but also a bit of precipitation, specifically into the southern region of Nova Scotia. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, we're looking at around 2 to 10 millimeters for parts of Nova Scotia, not seeing any totals accumulate for Newfoundland and Labrador. For New Brunswick today, starting off with wet weather that will clear, leaving mainly sunny skies. Daytime highs between 9 to 12 degrees and wind gusts getting up to 40. Prince Edward Island also going to see wet weather starting off the day, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Highs will range from 9 to 11 degrees. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at periods of rain early in the morning, clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies. Highs between 9 to 12 degrees. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, highs will range from 11 to 14. We're looking at periods of rain as well, starting off your day, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the late afternoon. Now, Newfoundland and Labrador seeing sunshine. 8 degrees in Labrador City and 8 starting off the day, as your daytime high in St. John's. Drizzle starts off the day. That will clear, Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. Now 7:47, and Halloween is this Friday. A great excuse to watch a classic scary movie like Poltergeist. But people who love the film can stay at an actual Airbnb in California that has a spine-chilling experience on offer. Jasmine Veal reports.
from the hiss of TV static that haunted a generation.
So Carol Ann put her hands on the TV in order to talk with the TV people.
To the eerie toys.
You have the clown.
And props inside this Simi Valley home.
65 shirt for when you're ready to start crawling up the wall.
New owner Rachel Powers didn't waste any time resurrecting some of the most iconic scenes from the 1982 movie Poltergeist after she bought the famous property last fall.
Hi, welcome to the Poltergeist house.
And within the last few months, she began inviting movie fans to spend the night, renting out this house on Airbnb where some of the movie was filmed in 1982.
That excitement, that joy that it brings people. I mean, how can I not share this with people?
She's already had a handful of guests looking for a night of nostalgia, eating s'mores around the fire pit, even projecting the movie onto a backyard screen under the stars. Several others have left behind tokens of their devotion to the film and heartfelt messages.
Night one was a blast. Swimming in the pool at night with false skeletons is a must. This is not where I expected my career to go. I have spent the last 25 years in the creative and tech industry.
But not everyone is thrilled. Some neighbors like Lynn Terry say the house has already drawn decades of attention, and now the Airbnb is bringing even more strangers to their quiet street.
It's not a good environment for our neighborhood. We've had filming done over here.
Terry says they hope it doesn't turn into a circus and remains wary of the growing spotlight.
If she continues to do it, we live here and we'll have to just work together to make it work.
Powers says she is committed to keeping things respectful.
Reaction to the neighbors, we've made peace. They've been supportive. I have noise detectors that are installed.
Keeping the peace and the nostalgia for this movie house alive.
Oh, it might be hard to sleep in there. Health and medical news now. There is a call out for urgent action as more youth are reportedly using opioids. It is one of the topics in Your Health. According to an editorial published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal this weekend, a new survey found a dramatic rise in students using prescription painkillers for non-medical reasons. Co-author Dr. Sean Kelly says the data is shocking. He says early opioid use often leads to addiction, requiring treatment with either methadone or Suboxone. The problem is that many primary care providers aren't comfortable prescribing those medications to adolescents and teens. The University of Toronto is setting up an emergency fund to help researchers facing unexpected funding losses following massive cuts from U.S. federal research agencies. Those losses came after the Trump administration targeted agencies like the National Institutes of Health for savings, leaving dozens of U of T researchers with sudden shortfalls. The school's VP of Research says the fund will help keep projects going while the researchers look for other sources of support. Finally, if you're feeling stressed out, it's time to head outside. That's what healthcare providers have been saying for years, with many in the U.S. now actually issuing formal prescriptions for patients to spend time outdoors. For example, a program at the Mayo Clinic focuses on practices that usually aren't part of conventional medicine, including meditation, acupuncture, massage, and nutrition. Its program director says study after study shows humans were wired to be out in nature.
And we just have one milestone to pass along for you today. It's a 70th anniversary for Norval and Sheila Steves. Happy anniversary.
70 years. Congratulations, you two. Wow. That is your milestone again, or find out how to submit one. Visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder that milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
Milestones, brought to you by the Berkeley Retirement Residences. Love this stage of life.
Every October, Dartmouth's Alderney Landing gets taken over by ghostly tales and spooky specters as part of the Blue Nose Ghost Festival.
Yep, and it's tradition around here to pay a visit to the haunted house, so put on by our partners at the Blue Nose Ghost Festival. Enter if you dare.
Welcome to the manor, where shadows of the past linger. This former orphanage has a dark history that still echoes through these halls. As you step inside, be warned. The spirits that reside here may not let you leave unscathed.
We're here at the Blue Nose Ghost Festival, Alderney Landing's Halloween extravaganza. We have the signature haunted house here from East Coast Scares, and we're here until Halloween night. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're here every night from 6:30 to 9:30 until Halloween night, and we have a team of scare actors who are thrilled to make your night a living nightmare.
Hi! Are you guys here to save me? Please, welcome on in.
In addition to the haunted house, we have the escape room where it's trivia themed and you get to find out if you can escape. And we have a crypt ride, a simulated crypt experience, hearing the story of being buried alive while being in a real coffin. And we also have spiritual readings from a number of different mediums local to our area.
Now carve out your eyes, then your tongue. You'd make a real good dog.
It's fun. At one point, we were all in a corner, and it was pretty scary. Like right there, you can hear it. That was where we were. A big chainsaw came. We all tucked in the corner, all four of us, and I was screaming.
The dead shall rise and eat the flesh from your bones.
It was scary. Yeah, it was really scary.
A little scary. Besides that, it's pretty good.
I'd say it's absolutely our biggest year yet. Here at Alderney Landing, we're happy to just provide this event for the community. It's a lot of fun and it's for families. We cause thrills and screams, and it's all for the benefit of our community. The funds raised from this event go to other programming at Alderney Landing.
Now we're going to take a look at our 3-day forecast. Starting off in New Brunswick, we're seeing some isolated showers early in the morning, clearing, leaving mainly sunny skies into the afternoon. A high of 11. 12 degrees on Wednesday with sunshine across the province, and on Thursday, seeing sunshine yet again with a high of 13. For Nova Scotia, looking at periods of rain starting off the day, could see some sunny breaks into the afternoon, but for the most part, mainly cloudy skies. Wednesday, looking at lots of sunshine across the province with a high of 11. 14 degrees on Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud with a chance of showers returning into the evening for the southern region. Prince Edward Island looking at periods of rain early in the morning, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 11 degrees. 12 degrees on Wednesday with mainly sunny skies, and a mix of sun and cloud on Thursday with a high of 14.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's Tuesday, October 28th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, a marathon game after 18 innings that ended just before 4 a.m. The LA Dodgers came out on top to take a 2-1 lead in the World Series against the Toronto Blue Jays. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And costume critters. You know, we love a good dog in an outfit around here, and we're checking out what's new in stylish pet attire this Halloween. That's just ahead on Your Morning Atlantic.
Gosh, good morning, Atlantic Canada. Extra coffee, maybe some espresso in your coffee this morning, too, if you stayed up into the overnight hours to watch the Jays game.
Intense.
I just don't know what they're going to do. They have to play again tonight.
I know.
They're going to have a nap. and then regroup.
This is why they get paid the big bucks.
I guess this is what
rally.
They've got to rally. They have to. The show must go on. But my goodness.
Yeah, unbelievable. So history made regardless of the outcome of the game last night. So we'll have more details coming up in the news. Also coming up this half hour, pets and costumes. Hello. That will raise your spirits.
Cute. I can't wait to see what the latest is in pet costume. And we're going to talk about kind of what to do with your pets if they're not super thrilled about wearing a costume, how to find the right costume for your pet, other safety things, because trick-or-treating day is coming up.
It is. Friday is the big day. Leading up to Friday, though, we're talking about today's weather. It is a wet start to the day. Early this morning for parts of Atlantic Canada. Temperature's a bit cooler yet again this morning, but it's seasonal for our daytime highs, too. Here's a live look at Fredericton. No wet weather over there this morning. As of right now, 6 degrees starting off your day. Mainly cloudy skies starting off your day as well. We will be seeing clouds clear, leaving a bit more sunshine a bit later this morning. And it is quite cool for parts of the region. Just keep that in mind as well. You may want to add an extra layer on and bring your rain gear before heading out. 9 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown as well as into Halifax and Sydney. -2 over in Labrador City. 5 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. Early this morning, we are seeing some wet weather for parts of Atlantic Canada. Periods of rain and or a chance of showers. That will clear into the afternoon, leaving some sunshine for parts of the region. Breezy wind remains for much of the maritime region out of the north and northeast. 46 kilometers per hour starting off your day in North Cape with 44 in Canso, 35 into Charlottetown with 30 in Truro, 26 in Sydney. Wind gusts getting up to 47 kilometers per hour in Canso, 50 into Charlottetown, 43 in Moncton. We'll have another look at your long range forecast, but first a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. 2 full games of baseball were played in Game 3 of the World Series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the LA Dodgers in California.
High fly to center. Varsho back. Game over.
The game went on for 18 innings before Dodger Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off homer to end the game. After the almost 7-hour game, Blue Jays manager John Schneider had high praise for all the players. Schneider says George Springer's status for Game 4 of the World Series tonight is uncertain after the Jays' designated hitter left Game 3 with a right side injury. And here to weigh in on the World Series is sports analyst Matthew Cause, a radio host with TSN 1050, joining us live now. Good morning, Matthew. Did you get any sleep at all this morning?
No, not very much sleep at all. And then I woke up before my alarm went off. Also, I'm feeling shame because Sandy Koufax is 89 years old, the former Dodger legend. He stayed for the whole game. He was awake for the whole game. He was shaming me and so many of us who were trying to stay awake.
Okay, so I'm hoping you have some extra coffee. Number one, what is your reaction to the fact that this went on for nearly 7 hours, 18 innings?
Yeah, I think the first reaction as a Toronto sports fan, it's never good when you're on the losing end of history, because what we saw last night was historic in terms of the length of game, what Shohei Ohtani did. It was just a truly remarkable night. Like, if I can take a step back from being a Blue Jays fan, that was an incredible night of baseball. Now, however, as a Blue Jay fan, there were so many wasted opportunities littered throughout that game. Men thrown out at third, at home. Nathan Lucas with the bases loaded and couldn't get it done in extra innings. And then Freddie Freeman, again, he had a grand slam walk-off home run in Game 1 against the Yankees last year, and he hits that home run there in the 18th inning to win it for the Dodgers. It was an incredible night. If you're a Blue Jay fan, I get why you are disappointed and wildly tired this morning.
Oh, wow. The fact that it really went on for 2 games in one. Yeah. Can you walk us through what would be the plan for the teams and the players after playing a game like that, like a marathon game, and then having to play again another big game tonight, Game 4 tonight in LA? What's going through their minds? What do they have to do to get ready?
Yeah, I think all plans were thrown out the window when it was interesting because you had 2 games. The first 7 innings, it was 5-5. Then no one was scoring, and lots of bad at-bats. And then finally you wait, you blink and the game is done. I think the main thing for the Blue Jays is this is easier said than done. You got to forget about it. You've got to immediately just wipe it out of your memory and just move on. And listen, no team has come back more this year than the Blue Jays. They led baseball in come from behind wins. They were trailing against Seattle 2 games to nothing, 3 games to 2. In Game 7, they were down 3 games to 1. I think the bigger concern is, one, how is George Springer doing? He leaves, I think it was in the 7th inning. Yes. All innings are kind of mashed together now. But George Springer left with what looked like an oblique injury. Bo Bichette, you can see the guy can't move. He can hit, but it either has to be a single or a home run. There's no speed there. So I'm wondering about what is the status of those two guys. That's the pressing on my mind. And then again, just kind of forget about it and realize, once again, it was a 1-run game. The Jays had a real chance against a behemoth of a Dodgers team.
Wow, and certainly holding their own for as long as they could. We'll look forward to what happens for Game 4 tonight. Hopefully it's not as long, and perhaps hopefully a different outcome too for the Jays. Matthew, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Absolutely.
Matthew Cause, host of Gameplay on TSN Radio 1050. Thank you for your time. Now to local news headlines. Northumberland Ferries has canceled all crossings between PEI and Nova Scotia until 4:30 this afternoon. The company says sailing will resume with the 4:30 p.m. shuttle leaving Nova Scotia. Crossings also canceled yesterday because of a technical issue aboard the MV Northumberland and because of weather conditions. Of course, that ferry runs between Caribou, Nova Scotia and Wood Island's PEI. Finally, we are getting a closer look at the biggest healthcare construction project Cape Breton has seen in a generation. 3 new buildings are going up next to the Cape Breton Regional Hospital. It includes a new clinical services building with a new ER, operating rooms, and 72 new beds. The plan to treat more patients locally rather than off-island.
The thoracic, surgeons, oncologists will actually come to Cape Breton and see our patients rather than our patients having to travel to Halifax in the future.
And proponents say the project is the single biggest healthcare build on the island since the Cape Breton Regional was built 30 years ago.
Wow.
Nice to get a close-up look, too, at that change there.
This is also interesting news, very different, though. A remarkable fossil footprint has been discovered in PEI by a local. Ooh. Now, the footprint is 25 centimeters wide and may have been made by a pariasaur, this heavily built, knobby-skulled plant eater that could weigh up to 1 ton. The largest animal ever to roam the equatorial regions of Pangaea at the time. Oh. So the large footprint was found along the shore of Hillsborough Bay and dates back to about 290 million years ago. But around the time I was born.
Right?
Oh my gosh. This discovery adds to the growing number of fossils from reptiles and amphibians that once roamed the province millions of years ago. Super
millions
cool.
of years ago.
Yes, and that thing was like that thing could have been standing right here where we're sitting.
It's so cute.
It got that buff eating veggies.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, no, he is, as they say, jacked. Yeah, for sure. I know. I would love to see the footprint. We'll hopefully get it. Hopefully they'll have a whatever cast of it.
Imagine making that discovery. Like, oh, look at this.
Look at that. Wait, honey, come over and take. Is this a footprint
know
of a
what that is.
Pangaeasaur?
Yeah. From the Pangea era? Well, honey, I was going to say Cretaceous, but
exactly. Still really cool, and we'll try to get more on that as we get more information.
Oh my gosh, we still have a lot coming up this hour, and it includes this. Pets and costumes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Halloween's Friday, and even pets are still finalizing their fits.
Oh, my gosh.
Is that a dog in sheep's clothing? That's coming up.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:12. We're taking a live look at Tangier. A bit of a cloudy start to the day. You can see some sunshine early this morning. We are expecting periods of rain to already clear out, as you can see here, leaving some sunshine in your area. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. A bit of a cooler start to the day for parts of Atlantic Canada. 5 degrees right now in Fredericton, 9 over in Charlottetown, as well as into Halifax and Sydney. -2 degrees in Labrador City, 3 into Happy Valley Goose Bay, and 5 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Before we get to our forecast here in Atlantic Canada, we're going to talk about the latest in Hurricane Melissa, tracking across Jamaica, the western portion of Jamaica, as a Category 5 hurricane. And then on Tuesday night, it's going to make another land impact to eastern Cuba as a Category 4. Now, as for the Maritimes, for our long-range forecast, once Melissa takes a northward turn, it will hold east of the Maritimes, but it does look like it will pass east of us. At the same time, a low-pressure system moves towards us out of the eastern seaboard with a weather front along with it. So it is possible that the front could grab moisture from the remnants of Melissa for Halloween on Friday. It's already expected to be a wet and windy forecast, and if some of that tropical moisture gets pulled up, we can be looking at some heavy rain and downpours. We'll continue to monitor the situation as it approaches. Not making land impact, though. Over to our forecast timeline. We're taking a look at some fog early this morning, as well as precipitation starting off the day for parts of Atlantic Canada. Looking at a chance of showers, periods of rain early in the morning, clearing, leaving a bit of sunshine for the most part. We will be seeing mainly cloudy skies. Into the evening and overnight hours, seeing a few clouds return, fog patches developing into the overnight hours. Temperatures cooling down as well. Into early Wednesday morning, another cool start to the day expected. A bit of sunshine in our forecast, but also seeing a chance of showers return for parts of the Maritime region. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, only seeing around 2 to 10 millimeters of additional precipitation for parts of Nova Scotia. Not seeing any totals accumulate for Newfoundland and Labrador. New Brunswick today starts off with some wet weather. Will clear, leaving mainly sunny skies into the afternoon. Highs will range from 9 to 11 degrees and breezy winds expected across the province. Daytime highs between 9 to 10 degrees across Prince Edward Island, also starting off with some wet weather, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at rain starting off the day, clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies with highs between 9 to 12 degrees. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, same thing applies. Wet weather starting off the day, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. Highs between 11 to 14 degrees. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing much more sunshine today. A high of 9 degrees with Labrador City, seeing mainly sunny skies today with a high of 8 degrees over in St. John's. Periods of drizzle expected to start off the day, clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon. Wednesday's forecast, daytime highs remain seasonal yet again. We are going to see some sunny breaks, but also an increasing cloudiness expected. Showers will return to the southern region of Nova Scotia. And then into Thursday's forecast, a bit of a cloudier day ahead. Still some lingering isolated showers expected. That's a look at your weather forecast on this Tuesday. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. And as Latavia mentioned, CTV's Joy Malbin has more on how people in Jamaica are preparing for Hurricane Melissa.
It's coming, it's coming.
As the storm began lashing the island, here's a look inside the eye of Hurricane Melissa. Now the strongest storm on the planet this year, intensifying into a Category 5 as it barrels towards Jamaica. A nightmare scenario for this island of nearly 3 million people.
What I have been watching, I have seen and heard that it's going to be very catastrophic.
Schools and major airports are now closed. Many tourists are stuck. Mandatory evacuations ordered for low-lying areas. More than 800 shelters have opened their doors as the Prime Minister urged residents to get to a safe place now.
You have been warned. So it's now up to you to use that information to make the right decisions. We urge you to, at this time, stay inside. That's the safest place to be.
Live pictures in Kingston show not everyone's listening. The threat is severe. Lightning flashing within the powerful eye captured on satellite images. The storm fueled by warm ocean water as millions braced for impact. Officials issued dire warnings, fearing that tens of thousands of people will be displaced from life-threatening storm surge, mudslides, and power outages for days that could change the shape of this island.
Life-threatening flash flooding, roads impassable, communities cut off.
The United Nations ready to kick into action with food, generators, and aid, with the hurricane expected to make landfall by morning, striking Cuba and the Bahamas after that.
CTV's Joy Malbin reporting in Washington. Canadians involved in the forestry sector are taking notice of what's happening in BC. The Premier of British Columbia announced his province plans to run an anti-tariff ad campaign next month. The online-only campaign will focus on the forest industry. Current tariffs and duties on Canadian softwood lumber now add up to 45% after Trump's latest threat of a 10% hike. The province also says it is opening up a forest trade office in the United Kingdom to boost exports to Europe. And we are getting a troubling new look at the impact of the cost of living crisis on Canadian food bank usage.
We're seeing people coming out of the woodwork just to make ends meet.
A staggering 2.2 million visits in March of this year alone, according to the latest report by Food Banks Canada. Overall, monthly visits to food banks have nearly doubled since 2019, with a third coming from children. That is your last look at your national and international news headlines. When we return, we'll have dogs in Halloween costumes. That's coming up on the Tuesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. It's 8:22, and with Halloween right around the corner for the newest edition of Pet Talk, we thought we'd take a look at some adorable costumes for your furry friends. Joining us this morning, we welcome back animal care expert Ariel McTavish of Pet Value. She's brought in Bear, dressed as a Highland cow. And we have many other models and handlers today. Who have we got with us today, Ariel?
All right, so we have Swanee the flamingo, and she's being handled by Christina. We've got Tilly the sheep, and she's being handled by Stacy. And then down at the end here, we've got little baby Shelby, and she's wings. She's wearing wings, and she's with Amy.
Love it. Okay, and this was not your first choice for Bear's costume today.
No, he was supposed to be a sunflower, but it didn't work out, so now he's going to be a cow.
Someone bought the sunflower costume, so it's going to be a beautiful sunflower out there. Okay, so you've got all these costumes at Pet Value. How do you determine what's the right costume for your particular pet?
Yeah, so a lot of the time it's a bit of trial and error. So some dogs are totally fine being dressed up. Tilly and Swanee are both a really good example of that. Bear, less so. So a lot of the time it's just a matter of kind of conditioning, meeting them halfway. Some dogs, again, just not into it.
Bear. Gosh, Bear's a beauty.
He's a good boy. So he's not super stoked on this hat, but he tolerates it, and he'll get lots of snacks afterwards, and we'll make it a positive experience.
Okay, Swanee here has become my new best friend. I think it's the two gingers. We're just hanging out, we're living life. If you're trying a costume for the first time, like the little baby dog over there, Shelby, this is her first time wearing a costume. So she's just got the wings. Is there a way you kind of get an animal used to wearing a costume?
Absolutely. Some have a lot more coverage than others. So Shelby's is actually a little harness with just some minor attachments on it. So it's a pretty easy way to kind of test the waters with them and see how comfortable they are in an outfit. And it's also a really good way to help condition them to wearing other stuff as well, because, you know, when they get spayed, neutered, what have you, like they are wearing all kinds of silly things at various points throughout their lives, so they can be used as a good conditioning tool as well.
Okay, well, costumes are a lot of fun, but Halloween can be more frightful than fun for some pets. The knocking at the doorbell, you know how your dog barks when that happens.
He hates it.
Yeah, how do you keep the animal calm in those situations?
For sure. Yeah. So there's lots of different calming treats available. We usually take Bear for a really good walk before we, you heard the word, before we start trick-or-treating, so that he's a little bit more tired, possibly a little bit less anxious. There are calming solutions available as well, toys, treats, all kinds of things to help reassure them. Yeah. Worst case scenario, we have also sent Bear to other places to get him away from the trick-or-treating, so daycare or boarding are an option as well.
Wonderful. What about if you're taking the animal out with you trick-or-treating? Any advice there?
Lots of light up things so people know you have them. There's lots of like light up collars, reflective vests, anything to make them more visible, because when you're out at Halloween, people aren't looking for dogs. They're looking for kids. They're looking for outfits. So they're not necessarily focusing on what else might be around them. So making sure that the dogs are nice and visible, everybody knows they're there.
Wonderful. Yeah. Okay. Any other advice for making sure, like for example, if you do see people's animals coming up to your house for trick-or-treating, should you offer them a treat?
Yeah, for sure. So I keep a couple little treats by my door with a variety of proteins in case somebody has an allergy, and I always ask the owner first, ask if they can have a treat. Don't just, offer it to them fresh out the gate. Stressful for the owner. They don't know what's in it, potentially an allergen risk.
Perfect. All right. Well, Pet Value would have all of those things, but yeah, always ask the owner before you offer the animal a treat. And always ask before you pet a dog. For example, Bear, gorgeous, don't pet her. She doesn't like it. Whereas
He's not a fan.
So Wani here, it's like, please pet me. Her sister over there, Tilly, which I tried to pet Tilly, and Swanee was like, no, thank you. You got to pet me instead.
Yeah, talk to
All right. This is really, really fun. What's your hot seller this season for dog costumes?
Oh gosh, the flamingo's been a popular one. Like I said, Bear's sunflower hat helmet situation.
Well, the flamingo's so great because you could use it as a bath mat after Halloween.
Exactly, right? There you go.
Thank you all so much for coming in. And yeah, you can go to Pet Value and check out all you need for your treats, your tricks, and of course, your wonderful costumes. Latavia, which one are you going to get for your dogs?
All of them, Crystal. We still have many days to wear costumes. Here's a look at our 3-day forecast. Starting off the day with wet weather in New Brunswick. That will clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon with a high of 11 degrees. 12 degrees on Wednesday. Sunshine across the province and sunny skies yet again on Thursday with a high of 13. Wet weather also starts off the day in Nova Scotia. Will clear, leaving mainly cloudy skies with a high of 12. 11 degrees on Wednesday with lots of sunshine across the province. On Thursday, we'll see sunshine yet again with a high of 14 degrees. A chance of showers returns into the evening for the southern region. Prince Edward Island also starting off the day with periods of rain, clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 11 degrees. 12 degrees on Wednesday with mainly sunny skies across the island. And on Thursday, sunshine returns, warming up to 14. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
Still to come this morning, cooking under pressure. We'll speak with recent MasterChef Canada contestant and New Brunswicker Rainey Stubbs to find out just how hot things got in the kitchen. That's in about 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada. The time now is 8:29, just about to turn 8:30. Thank you so much for joining us. Half hour left of the show and still much more to come.
Yes, super excited to chat with Rainey Stubbs about what it's like to be a contestant on a cooking show. Have you ever dreamt of that kind of thing? I could see you wanting to be on a baking show, Amanda.
Oh my gosh, I'd be so intimidated by everyone. That would be wonderful. I love baking, but I don't know about that. I'm not that level, that is for sure. But thank you. But Amazing Race Canada. Oh my gosh, we talked about that.
That would be fun.
That would be
fun. What about you?
No. I would not succeed. I couldn't do the Amazing Race. I couldn't do a baking show.
There used to be a show way back in the day called Name That Tune. And I'm really, really good at naming that tune. I think I could go all the way with that one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes half the fun is playing, participating. Yeah. But we do have a winner for our Your Morning 20K giveaway.
Yes. All right, let's announce it. Let's see who won the big $20,000. This has been fun to play along every day as you sent in your keywords and dream about what you do with the money. Well, that dream has become a reality for Al Priadel, the winner of our $20,000 contest. Congratulations. You'll have to let us know, Al, what you're going to do with the money. One more time, girls, what would you do with the money?
Oh, man.
Like impractical.
Practical?
Impractical.
Honestly, right now, caught up in the hype, try to go get a ticket for the World Series.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. I mean, you got your money's worth if you watched last night's game. That was 2 games in 1. Or this morning's game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a $20,000 game for sure. Oh, my goodness. I think I'm going to get the hot tub. You?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I would do some traveling.
Very nice.
Yeah. Oh, that
very,
would be really
very nice.
Well, congratulations, Al, and thank you to everyone who took the time to watch and to enter in that contest.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, weather-wise today, we are starting off wet in many parts of our region.
Yes, and that will clear into the afternoon for the most part. We will be seeing some sunshine or mainly cloudy skies and seasonal daytime highs. Here's a live look at Digby. You can see a very cloudy start to the day. Not really seeing any precipitation right now over there. And we are going to see clouds clear for parts of Atlantic Canada, leaving sunshine into the afternoon, but still starting off the day with wet weather for parts of the region. So keep that in mind when you are heading out on your morning commute. In terms of our current temperatures, it is a cooler start to the day for parts of Atlantic Canada. As of right now, 5 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, 9 degrees in Charlottetown as well as into Sydney and Halifax, -2 degrees over in Labrador City, 5 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar, you can see this low pressure system that's currently tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada, bringing in some additional precipitation our way that will clear for the most part into the afternoon, leaving either sunshine or mainly cloudy conditions. Breezy wind expected for the Maritimes yet again today out of the north and northeast at around 46 kilometers per hour right now in Canso, 44 into North Cape with 30 into Charlottetown, 31 in Halifax, 30 kilometers per hour in St. John, New Brunswick. Wind gusts getting up to 63 kilometers per hour in Canso, 43 in Truro, as well as into St. John, New Brunswick and Halifax, 41 in Charlottetown and Greenwood. We'll have one last look at your long-range forecast and the latest on Hurricane Melissa. But first, we'll take a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. Game 3 of the World Series took 6 hours and 39 minutes, and it ended with this moment.
High fly to center. Varsho back. Game over.
Heartbreak for the Jays, jubilation for the Dodgers. This marathon game stretched into the 18th inning, tied for the longest in World Series history, matching the 18-inning game between the Dodgers and Red Sox in 2018. Game 3 ended just before 4 a.m. Atlantic time. Jays hitter George Springer left the game after injuring himself with a swing during the 7th inning. The Jays lost 6-5 in the 18th inning, giving the Dodgers a 2-1 lead in the series. Not much of a break either for the teams or the fans. Game 4 still scheduled for tonight, also in LA. Northumberland Ferries has canceled all crossings between PEI and Nova Scotia until 4:30 this afternoon. The company says sailing will resume with the 4:30 p.m. shuttle leaving Nova Scotia. Crossings also canceled yesterday because of a technical issue aboard the MV Northumberland and also due to weather conditions. The ferry runs between Caribou, Nova Scotia and Wood Islands, PEI. RCMP in Nova Scotia say they're investigating hate-motivated graffiti at a social services agency in West Hants. Police did not say what the graffiti depicted, but noted that it was racist. RCMP say the racist graffiti was quickly painted over, and they believe it happened sometime between October 22nd and the 24th. Police are asking anyone with information to contact them. We are getting a closer look at the biggest healthcare construction project Cape Breton has seen in a generation. 3 new buildings are going up next to the Cape Breton Regional. It includes a new clinical services building with a new ER, operating rooms, and 72 new beds. The plan is to treat more patients locally rather than off-island.
The thoracic, surgeons, oncologists will actually come to Cape Breton and see our patients rather than our patients having to travel to Halifax in the future.
Proponents say the project is the single biggest healthcare build on the island since the Cape Breton Regional 30 years ago. And in New Brunswick, a psychiatry unit dedicated to youth is being added to the St. John Regional Hospital. The province is spending millions to improve services for young people who are struggling. The 5-bed inpatient psychiatry unit will provide immediate specialized treatment, a first of its kind in St. John.
For a child to have reached that crisis point that they require admission to hospital for them to be managed and supported really indicates that their situation has come to the point that there is a lengthy, plan involved, both in stabilizing these children for whatever reason that brought them to hospital, but also ensuring that we have a supportive plan in place prior to their discharge.
Officials hope the center will ultimately help curb rising rates of crime, addiction, and homelessness in the port city and beyond. Finally, the service and sacrifice of Nova Scotians in the Great War more than a century ago were the focus of an event in Dartmouth last night.
And it certainly wasn't easy for those that I write about in this book. But it's to their memory that I dedicated my work.
Former soldier Ken Hines, well known around here for his long tenure as curator of the Army Museum, Halifax Citadel, has written a new book focused on the Nova Scotians who went above and beyond in the First World War. At the official book launch last night, Hines said it is important to acknowledge and remember all they gave.
They were just like you and me, regular folks who went overseas into the danger of an industrial scale conflict, and managed, some of them, to survive. And those that didn't laid down their lives for freedom.
The book, titled Service and Sacrifice, Nova Scotians and the Great War, is widely available in maritime bookstores and online. And quite the turnout there last night. Congratulations.
All right, if I use the term blessed be the fruit, does that mean anything to you?
Oh, yes. Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale. If you're a fan, you're going to want to check out this Handmaid's Tale exhibit in Cambridge, Ontario. It's a walking tour and exhibit called Under His Eye, the Gilead Experience.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. It allows you to get up close and personal with real costumes worn by the actors in the series based on the dystopian novel by Canadian writer Margaret Atwood. The exhibit is hosted at Cambridge City Hall, but fans can access an online map to take a self-guided walking tour of several key filming locations.
Oh, that bridge. Oh.
That bridge.
Oh.
Iconic spots like the bridge itself. There was kind of a walk along the river there. That all of these scenes were shown repeatedly throughout the 6 seasons of the show. Fans can recreate their own Gilead experience until November 6th. Admission is free.
Oh, wow.
So if you happen to be in Cambridge, just go check it out. And yeah, that was the commander's funeral robe, the commander's cigars.
Have you watched it?
The series? Yes.
Yes. I heard it was incredible. When I found out what it's actually about, I had no idea. I was way off track.
Really?
Yeah, but I heard it's incredible.
Well, it's the novel and the series are both really good. Very thought-provoking.
Very thought-provoking. I didn't appreciate it when I read it in high school, thinking, oh my gosh, that could never happen. And I reread it as an adult and just realized how powerful it is. And of course, the TV series went beyond the books.
I didn't even know it was
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in any case, that's happening in Cambridge, Ontario, but lots is happening in our region.
Absolutely. We'll take a look at our community calendar. The Nightmare Project has returned in Upper Blackville. You can enjoy 2 nights left to take a walkthrough of the creepiest displays. The Nightmare runs from October 30th until the 31st. For additional details and all of the areas you can visit, head over to their Facebook page. And experience a chilling haunted horse and wagon ride in Charlottetown this week. From now until the 30th, you can travel through the town while you listen to eerie tales of local legends and haunted history. To learn more, you can head over to the website on your screen. And in Halifax, you can revel in all things monstrous at the first ever Monster Fest. There will be horror trivia, screenings, panels, lectures, a bazaar of the bazaar, monster ball costume celebration, and so much more. The fest will be held from October 28th to the 31st at both St. Mary's University and the Halifax Central Library. Head over to their website for additional information.
They better play the Monster Mash. Sorry to interrupt.
One would hope.
But, like, one would hope.
If you do have an event taking place in our neck of the woods, please send us the details. We'd love to promote it. Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca. We'll be right back. Stick with us. I don't know what that is. Time now, 8:43. Welcome back, Atlantic Canada. A bit of sunshine over in Cape Sable Island early this morning. It is going to be a cool start to the day, and temperatures will remain seasonal for the most part. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out early this morning. You will want to layer up and prepare for some precipitation that's currently tracking across parts of the region. Temperatures will rise, but as I mentioned, they will remain seasonal for the most part for our daytime highs this afternoon. 5 degrees starting off in Fredericton early this morning, and 9 degrees over in Charlottetown and Sydney. 8 early this morning in Halifax, and 5 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Before we get to our forecast for today across Atlantic Canada, we will take a look at Hurricane Melissa, still tracking as a Category 5 hurricane, which is considered to be catastrophic. It will make its way over and through western Jamaica, and that will bring land impacts of landslides, strong winds, flooding. So it will next turn over to a Category 4 hurricane and make its way through eastern Cuba. As for the Maritimes, taking a look at our long-range forecast, will become a Category 1 hurricane, not making land impacts as it will remain east of the Maritimes. But it does look like it will pass east of us. At the same time, a low pressure system and a weather front will make its way over to the Maritime region, bringing rain on Friday and strong winds. So if we do happen to take moisture from Melissa, it could bring us through this weather front heavy rain and downpours. We'll continue to track it as it is our long-range forecast, and we are still ways away from Friday. Over to our forecast timeline. Fog patches early this morning already dissipating, and we are seeing wet weather for parts of Atlantic Canada. A chance of showers, periods of rain moving through. Keep that in mind when you are heading out for your commute. And then into this afternoon, we will be seeing precipitation clear out. Lots of sunshine in our forecast, but also mainly cloudy skies for parts of Atlantic Canada. And then into the evening and overnight hours, we will be seeing a few clouds return, as well as fog patches developing into the overnight hours. Temperatures cooling down, will remain quite cool into Wednesday morning, and we will be seeing sunshine return for our forecast, but we do have a bit of precipitation returning as well. Not really seeing heavy precipitation additionally today, only looking around 2 to 10 millimeters for parts of Nova Scotia. Not seeing rainfall totals for Newfoundland and Labrador. Starting off the day with wet weather that will clear for New Brunswick, leaving mainly sunny skies into the afternoon. Highs will range from 9 to 11 degrees and breezy wind expected as well. Highs between 9 to 10 degrees across Prince Edward Island. Periods of rain start off the day clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, periods of rain also starting off the day, mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon as precipitation clears out. Daytime highs between 9 to 12 degrees. For the rest of Nova Scotia, highs between 11 to 14, also starting off with wet weather, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. And also seeing sunshine for Labrador City with a high of 9 degrees and 8 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Periods of drizzle, that will clear, leaving mainly cloudy skies, Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. It's 8:46. Now, have you ever dreamed of being on a cooking TV show like MasterChef Canada? Our next guest sure did, and that dream came true when he was chosen to be featured on Season 8 of the show MasterChef Canada. Rainey Stubbs grew up in small-town New Brunswick and won over the hearts of fans with his fun personality and tasty dishes, but the judges weren't bowled over by his tortilla dish last week, and Rainey's MasterChef campaign came to an end. In any case, we're so proud of him and pleased to have him joining us now in studio. Good morning, Rainey.
Hey, Crystal, how's it going?
It's going great. Congratulations on being chosen to compete on MasterChef Canada Season 8. What was your experience like?
Oh, thank you so much. It was actually an incredible experience. You know, I think we all grow up with those dreams to be featured on TV, but even more so, I think just to do something that you're really passionate about with fellow competitors that are also really passionate about it. So I would say that like it's a dream come true, but I really think that the dream is just starting.
Well, that's great news. I mean, I can only imagine, like, it's one thing to cook. Obviously, you love to cook and create delicious meals, but is it, like, what's it like to do that under pressure?
Oh my gosh. So it's completely different. So what everyone keeps asking me is like, hey, like the time's not real. Like, yo, the pressure's not real. Like, it actually really is. You know, I work in Toronto now in one of the corporate jobs, and everyone's like, oh, that must be stressful. Do you know what? No, MasterChef Kitchen was probably the most stressful thing that I've done. But I think, you know, diamonds come out of pressure. And I think when you really push yourself and you're put into a really pressured situation, you realize just what you're capable of. So as stressful as it is, it's one of those things that I'm like jonesing to do again already.
Well, I want to try. See, Mary Berg and the other hosts there, they're trying your little satay that goes on with your dish. Like, it sounded delicious to me. Were you surprised that they didn't like it as much? Because obviously you thought it was going to be delicious. I think I would have liked it.
I know, because like you and I are the same person, like maritime people.
Exactly.
Like we're easy. Give me some peanut butter, like some lime juice, and I'm good.
Sounds great.
Exactly. I think at the end of the day, like you try your best, you put yourself into circumstances where you're not familiar with, and sometimes it doesn't work out. And I think at the end of the day, like as I'm watching you play clips again, like my heart's breaking just watching that elimination happen. I'm fiercely competitive. One of those things, though, is all those people standing behind me, I was proud to meet. I was always inspired by whatever they put up for the judges. And I'm still in contact with a lot of the staff. And, you know, I'm getting married in less than 2 weeks now. 13 days, I think, is the countdown.
Wow.
And I'm really excited to see most of these guys come to my wedding and celebrate with us and have a reunion.
Well, we were sad to see you go early, but obviously, like, you became a fan favorite, and you say your future is bright. What is next for you? Aside from the wedding, you know, to Mike.
Oh my gosh, right? I can't wait for that to be done. Whoever told me it was a good idea to be on TV, do a job change, and get married all in 1 year, like, holy smokes, I'm definitely tired. What's next? I really feel like right now I'm trying to find my groove. I really want to take maritime food. It reminds me of rustic Italian food. It's very simple. It's very humble. So how do we take maritime food? Like my mother-in-law is a really good cook. My mom's a really good cook. So how do I take their staples and reimagine them into something that is exciting, something that's modern? and that can get other people excited. So right now I'm kind of chipping away at reimagining maritime food.
Wonderful. Your signature dish is a deconstructed corn chowder with scallops and bacon jam. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so one of those things growing up along the St. John River is that we always had corn boils growing up. And I just remember bringing people together. And that was always one of those things that warmed my heart, is just the power of food to bring people better together. So working on this dish is one of those things that I thought, okay, cool. How do I take like a really humble concept, elevate it, make it better, and make it really sexy? And do you know what? Screw the peanut satay sauce. That dish landed with the judges, and it's been edited a little bit since the show, but hey, it's even better now. So I would say, like, give me a follow along if you want to see what it looks like now.
Definitely, yeah, people can follow along with your journey on social media. But Rainey, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for making time for us. And congratulations, you did great.
Thank you, Crystal. That means the world, and definitely miss all the people back in the Maritimes. So sending all my love to the people back home, and thanks for the time, Crystal. It was so nice to talk to you.
You too. So that was Rainey Stubbs. He made it to MasterChef Canada Season 8. Did us all proud. You can follow him on social media to watch his journey. Just the beginning for Rainey. So happy he could take some time with us. We're going to take a little break and be back to wrap up the show right after this.
#1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. I just wanted to say thanks to Rainey and his dog, who
So
made
adorable.
a bomb the whole thing. If you want to watch MasterChef Canada, you can watch tonight's episode or stream it tomorrow on Crave. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Makes me hungry too.
Indeed.
I need to have my lunch now.
Maybe something frozen.
Maybe something frozen. That's our Move Morning Chat question today. We're asking all morning about what's a food that you prefer to eat frozen. And we're talking beyond ice cream, but beyond popsicles, like what is something you don't naturally put in the freezer? You guys have some fun answers. Kim from Mount Pearl, Newfoundland says grapes and chocolate are the best frozen. I hear a lot of people love grapes.
Frozen grapes are delicious.
Never tried it, but it sounds great.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Colleen from Parker Ridge, New Brunswick also agrees. Fruit is expensive. We don't want to waste it, so I will freeze anything that is not getting used. They're great for a cold snack. My favorite is grapes.
They are good, Colleen.
It's a popular one.
I'm with you. Mine's sweet cherries. Delicious frozen.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yum, yum. William from Kentville sent us a text going for something sweet, too. Nothing better than a frozen Mars bar. Oh, we'll get to that answer. I have Jane's answer here. My Christmas shortbread cookies, she says, are so much better frozen.
Well, bring some over here, Jane. We'd love to be the judge of that.
We'll have to taste test that. Also, too, who loves chocolate, Lori from Lower Sackville. Chocolate bars, especially Mars or Three Musketeers. Also, chocolate-covered fruit of any kind.
Yum.
Yum, yum, yum. And then next up, LJ from Middleton. Love buying fresh corn on the cob, parboil, then strip off cob, and freezing it. Tastes so fresh in the winter months.
Yes, delicious.
This is a good
Corn
idea.
tastes great frozen.
Yeah. Or cooked.
Okay. Ooh, or cooked. This is fun. Kathy says, you're going to laugh, but I like frozen cake. It's not all soft and squishy then. Right now, I have 2 frozen skull heads from our Halloween / Till Death Do Us Part themed wedding.
Whoa.
And I can't wait to have a piece on our first wedding anniversary. You want to see the photo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Poking out of graves, it looks like, or caskets.
Great theme. You guys look so good.
And happy anniversary as well.
Yay.
I love that.
That's
so
cute.
Thank you to everyone who sent us a text. 10400 is the number. You can text us photos too. And yeah, we love to hear from you. We'll have a new topic tomorrow.
Yay!
Yeah.
Tomorrow, too, registered dietitian Laura Barker-Jackman stops by with some fun Halloween-themed food.
Also, too, on the news end, we're going to talk about the softwood lumber industry in New Brunswick and how it's faring with the tariff impacts from the U.S. as well.
Yes, exactly. And plus, Denise Wild will share Halloween essentials from candy, decor, DIYs, and so much more.
All right, well, then we'll see you tomorrow for a great Wednesday show.
Bye. Enjoy your Tuesday. Get some rest if you stayed up to watch the game, too.